everybody, it's Megan, and I'm so excited that it is finally side dish week again. Can you believe that it has been 4 weeks since we were making side dishes last? I mean, the time is flying by. And I have been waiting through entree week, appetizer week, dessert week to finally be back at side dishes so that I could show you my recipe for garlic cheese bread. Now, you might be asking yourself, why has she been waiting all this time to show me garlic cheese bread? I can go online, I can Google garlic cheese bread and get like hundreds of pages of options. But all those options are precisely why I needed to make this video for you. Because when you look through there, it's like you can bake it, or you can broil it, or you can wrap it in foil, or you could put it on the barbecue. You could use butter, you could use olive oil, you could use fresh garlic, sliced garlic, pureed garlic, chopped garlic, roasted garlic, garlic powder. I mean, how do you decide? And then your cheese, do you use mozzarella, do you use jack, do you use cheddar, do you use parmesan? The possibilities are limitless. Also, what if you're making this for your family and friends, and there are all those recipes out there and all those restaurants out there that serve garlic cheese bread? How do you guarantee that yours is the best they've ever had? How do you make sure that at the end of the night, you have no garlic cheese bread left and they're asking you for your recipe? Well, I will tell you, you guarantee that by making this recipe, because it is the best garlic cheese bread you're ever gonna eat. Now, there are a few steps to make it perfect, and the first thing is you need bread that is super, super, super crusty, because you want it to really crisp and crunch when they bite into it. And now there's a few things for that. One is that I buy my bread day old. 2, I wait another couple days before I use it. And the third is that instead of broiling it, we bake it in a 375-degree oven. Now, if you can't get day-old bread, or you don't have time to wait for your fresh bread to sit on the counter until it's nice and hard, you could throw it in the oven while you're preheating it and you're making your cheese sauce before you sliced it, and it'll help the crust get nice and crispy. And then you just pop it out when your spread is all ready to go. So, now the first thing we're going to do is take our butter and take our cream cheese. Now, this is a half a stick of butter, and this is 4 ounces of cream cheese, and they're already super, super soft because it took me a really long time to get ready to make this video, and they've been sitting on the counter the whole time. So, I can go ahead and mix it up, but usually I take it right out of the fridge, and I'll use a microwave safe bowl instead of this metal one that can't go in the microwave, and I'll put it in there for like 20-30 seconds just so it's soft enough that you can squish it together. Because, I mean, you don't want it melty, you just want it spreadable. And that way you can get it all mixed together really nice and well. Plus, when you're squishing it with your fork, it gets soft anyway, breaks up. Now, that looks pretty good, so we're ready to add our garlic. And I have 3 cloves here that I'm just going to put in here. Squish them in there real good because I only want to do it once. And then press them out. Now you'll notice I'm using half of the recipe that you see on the site. And that's because the only person who's going to be eating this bread today is me. And I'm really not thinking I need an entire loaf of French bread, right? Especially when it's covered in cheese. Now, obviously, depending on how many people you're going to serve, you can follow the full recipe too, or you could just go ahead and half it. So once we get our garlic mixed in, and we do that when we just have the cream cheese because we want to make sure that it's really spread between all of it nicely, because you don't want one person's bite of garlic bread to be solid garlic and someone else's to just taste like cheese, because that would be boring. So now it's all mixed in real well. Okay, so now we're ready to add our Worcestershire sauce, and we just put in about a tablespoon. You can kind of eye it or measure it out, whichever you prefer. And mix that up a little bit. And then we go ahead and add our cup of cheddar cheese. And I'm using a sharp cheddar, so I think it goes well. And that's all there is to the spread. Just those few ingredients, you put it in, and once it's all mixed together, you just put it onto your loaf of bread. Alright, so I just dumped the entire bowl of cheese and garlic onto my loaf of bread, and I'm just starting to spread it out, and it's going to be really, really nice and thick. And you want to make sure you get it all the way to the edge. Alright, so my loaf is covered, and I'm just going to bring it over here and put it onto my foil-lined baking sheet. And we're just about done. It's almost ready to go in the oven, but first we'll hit it up with a little cracked pepper. And then last is our tablespoon of fresh chopped basil. And you just want to sprinkle it around even. It'll get stuck in there when the cheese melts. And that's all there is to it. So now we're going to pop it in that 375-degree oven and let it cook for 20 minutes. Alright, so this loaf just came out of the oven right now. Alright, and you can see when it first comes out, the cheese is going to be really soft on top. So you've got to wait like 10 minutes before you cut it so that it doesn't just all slide off and you end up with no cheese on your bread. If you cannot wait the 10 minutes, which could be a problem because it smells so good, you want to eat it right away, at least wait 5, because then it'll set up, you'll be able to cut through it. It might be too hot to take a bite, but at least all your cheese won't come off. Doesn't this bread just look so beautiful with the basil on top and the melted cream cheese, and the crust is so crispy and brown. And the best thing about this garlic cheese bread is that it tastes as good as it looks. I'm kind of wishing I hadn't made the full recipe because I think I could have eaten the full loaf. Now while I take a bite of this, because I've been waiting this whole like half hour to get to it, I have a little game for you, because in the back I have hidden 3 boxes of cream cheese. And I want you to try to find them, and then you can go ahead and send me a little message on our Real Woman of Philadelphia board and let me know if you've spotted them. So thanks for watching, and try this bread at home.